Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. We begin with the latest on the political situation in Imo State, where a high court in Owerri has stopped the swearing-in of Callistus Ekenze as the new deputy governor of the state. Ekenze was supposed to replace Eze Maduemere, who was impeached by the State House of Assembly on Monday. However, his swearing-in was stopped midway after the High Court delivered its judgment. The Attorney General of the state, Miletus Lemadim, informed the gathering of the ruling. Lemadim told the audience that there was a court order made by Owerri High Court on Tuesday morning stopping the Chief Justice from swearing in Ekenze. He, however, explained that the state government is doing everything possible to vacate the order. The presidency has dismissed reports that President Muhammadu Buhari was involved in the alleged plot to impeach Benue State Governor Samuel Ortom. 10 members of the Benue State House of Assembly had on Monday served the governor with an impeachment notice. However, they will need at least two-thirds of the majority to impeach the governor, and some observers had linked the plot to President Buhari. But in a statement on Tuesday morning, presidential spokesperson Femi Adesina said Buhari would never be part of any unconstitutional act. In Kwara, the All Progressives Congress APC in the state have rejected the dissolution of party executives at the ward, local government and state levels by the national chairman, Adams Oshomole. The APC National Working Committee, led by Oshomole, had on Monday dissolved the executives and appointed a caretaker committee to temporarily head the party in Kwara State. The action of the APC leadership is believed to be aimed at hitting back at Senate President Bukola Saraki, who is seen as having subtly aided the defection of many of the party's chieftains and lawmakers in recent weeks. In a statement, the Kwara State APC Executive Committee said the action of the National Working Committee was not only outrightly unlawful, but also null and void. Still on Kwara State, a group of protesters from the state chapter of the All Progressives Congress on Tuesday stormed the national headquarters of the party in Abuja, expressing support for the dissolving of the state executives. The group, who displayed banners and placards, also called for the dismissal of Senate President Bukola Saraki, accusing him of anti-party activities.
Our able chairman, national chairman, His Excellency Adam Oshiomhole, is able to take the bull by the horn. Yesterday, the Kwara State ESCO was dissolved. We are here in respect of that to show appreciation to the chairman and the National Working Committee for their response to our requests, to our demands. Besides that, there are some other demands we have also put across to the National Working Committee. One of such is registration of membership, fresh registration of membership in Kwara State, to enable us to know the authentic and bona fide members of the party. With these steps taken by the National Working Committee, the party will be repositioned in Kwara to be fully prepared for 2019 general elections. So we are very much grateful to the chairman and his team. We want the national chairman and the team to look into other demands that we have made. Number one of them, again, is the expulsion of Senator Bukola Saraki because of his anti-party activities. Before this decision of yesterday, the party has been granted and stagnated in Kwara because the party leadership is directly under the control of Senator Bukola Saraki. But with this development, the party is going to be repositioned very soon.
We have been on a running battle with the other group. We have been on their neck. We have been telling them that they were illegally constituted because the constitution of the party and the guidelines stated that our congresses should be conducted in an open place. All the party secretariat, they held their own in the government house, the Kwara State Banquet Hall and annex of the government house. So we are equally in court, but yesterday's exercise has put everything in shape, and that is why we are here to show appreciation.
An organization that will focus on training the youth, explaining government policies, and building support for good governance has been launched in Abuja. The national organization aims to empower youth in self-sufficiency. TV360's Tunji Oye now reports.
Percentage of media reports about Nigeria are negative, from Boko Haram onslaughts to farmer herdsmen clashes, kidnappings and corruption. The list seems endless. But is this all Nigeria is about? Definitely no. Quite a lot of awesome things are happening in this country. Infrastructure is being put in place, the railway revolution is expanding across Nigeria, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway is getting attention, the East-West Road, the second Nigeria Bridge is on course, and the economy is being revived. All across Nigeria, good things are said to be happening, but most of them are not known to Nigerians. An organization has decided to put these good works of government in the public domain so that Nigerians can appreciate democracy better. The organization is called the Good Governance Ambassadors of Nigeria, GOGAN.
I submit and invite anyone to challenge me on this belief and opinion that throughout the history of governance in this country, the only present administration is the only present administration that has gotten the courage to fish out cases of corruption in all the three arms of government, involving lootings amounting to billions of naira and attempt to recover same and prosecute the culprits.
The objective of GOGA is in line with the collective features and roadmap of African Union in promoting the spirit of Pan-Africanism, values and ethics toward the attainment of the African Union Youth Charter, Agenda 2063, and other features of the African Unions.
We try to achieve, having good people of Nigerians to select good government. And we're trying to make sure that people know what is going on in the country and what the youths and Nigeria needs.
These ambassadors of good governance have challenged themselves to be the torchbearers of a new Nigeria where justice, equality and prosperity are established.
As citizens, if we are able to contribute our quota to good governance, the burden of good governance will be reduced on government at all levels. And if we are able to come out to demand for good governance at any given time or every given time, the government also will become responsible for good governance.
Nigeria is about changing the narrative. Good governance, ambassador of Nigeria, we are to change the narrative, a country where good governance is the key, where the vices associated with the corruption will turn away. Today we have unveiled GOGAN. We shall move ahead from today to begin to hammer, to begin to criticize, to begin to enlighten, to let Nigerians know that key corruption, we are alive. Condone corruption, we are finished.
It is the belief of this organization that Nigerians will appreciate and support government better if they are aware of effort being made by the government to fix this country. From Abuja, Sunji Oye, TV360 News.
In security, presidential aspirant Kingsley Moghalu has pledged to restructure Nigeria's security architecture if elected as president. Moghalu, who is running under the Young Progressive Party, made the pledge in a chat with journalists in Kaduna State. He says he will not be biased in choosing security chiefs and also assured that he will expand the size of the Nigerian police force if elected as president.
The number one job of any government is to secure the lives and property of its people. But none of us in this town hall today can sleep with our eyes closed. What will be different when I become president? You will find out that some civilians can secure Nigeria better than some generals. What is going to happen is as follows. Number one, we will bring the management of Nigeria's security into a very professional atmosphere. Nigeria's security chiefs will come from all over the country. They will be professionals. So the number one consideration for your appointment as a security chief is not what part of Nigeria you come from. It is how professional are you. Number two, we will secure Nigeria's borders. Our border with Cameroon, our border with Cotonou, with Benin Republic, our border with Chad, our border with Niger. We will protect our borders so that all kinds of people can not just be walking into Nigeria and we don't know what's going on. Number three, we are going to create a totally new police force. We will recruit, we will train, we will equip 1.5 million new policemen and women in Nigeria when I become president over a period of 4 years. That is what we need. We are 200 million people and we have just 300,000 police. almost half of whom are garden VIPs. Are you secure with a situation like that? No, you're not. So the government is not investing in security, or they're investing in security in the wrong way.
Meanwhile, the police command in the Federal Capital Territory has appealed to residents to always provide useful information to the force. FCT Police Commissioner Bala Shurma made the appeal at a press briefing at the command headquarters on Monday. He assures that the police is working on ways to improve relationship with communities, noting that it was important for effective policing.
As part of our renewed effort to deliver quality service to FCT residents and visitors alike, the command has chosen to be proactive through adoption of aggressive information gathering, constant raid of identified black spots, visibility policing, vehicular and foot patrol, conduct of stop and search, etc. We are also making effort to visit communities, interact with residents and their leaders to understand their challenges in terms of security and work out ways to address those challenges. I also wish to assure FCT residents through this medium that every piece of information shared with us will be treated with confidentiality. I therefore endorse those with useful information that will help us serve the people better, not to hesitate to make them available to us.
Moving on, the Federal High Court in Lagos has dismissed an application filed by a former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, to dismiss his corruption trial. The trial judge, Justice Mohammed Idris, dismissed Kalu's no-case submission, insisting he must open his defense on the trial. Kalu is prosecuted alongside his company, Slok Nigeria Limited, and his former Commissioner for Finance, Jones Udelgu, for money laundering to the tune of over 3.2 billion naira. The prosecuting team had closed its case on June 6, but the defense counsel then filed a no-case submission and asked the court to dismiss the charges. In his ruling on Tuesday, Justice Idris held that the prosecution had established a case against the defendants. Still on judicial matters, another Federal High Court in Lagos has remanded 3 officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) in Ikoyi prison. The officials are standing before the court for charges relating to money laundering. They are being accused of laundering 179.8 million naira and have pleaded not guilty to the charges. NECA Global Certification Body, NGCL, has announced its readiness to end the limited access to quality infrastructure of business owners in Nigeria. The body has established the National Quality Infrastructure Project, NQIP, to ensure safety, integrity, and marketability of goods and services locally and internationally. They held a press conference in Lagos on Tuesday to give more details of the project.
In recent times, there has been a reported rise in the influx of substandard goods into Nigeria. To solve this, some bodies have been coming up with projects seeking to control the trends of substandardization. One of them is the National Quality Infrastructure Project, NQIP.
The NQIP has brought progress and achievements attained in metrology, accreditation, and conformity assessment services. The project has created awareness of quality culture, built capacity of Nigerians, and strengthened both the public and private sectors of the Nigerian economy. And when we allude to the fact that the project has built capacity of Nigerians, within the past 4 years, tens and hundreds of Nigerians have passed through quality capacity building, which borders on quality infrastructural projects, issues of certification, issues that borders on accreditation.
If you have a good product that is wrongly packaged, it's still a bad product. Now, if you have a good product, well packaged, no information, it's still a bad product. So what someone would do in their laboratory is to test the products. But what NGCL would do is to help your process. So your process, it's actually complementary. It's not competing.
Accredited as Nigeria's first indigenous certification body, NECA Global Certification Limited, NGCL provides certification and training services for both local and international companies. The Chief Executive Officer, Celine Oni, has this to say.
Quality is very big, and for a nation like Nigeria, we need more and more of quality infrastructure, which is why we believe that this is a real great milestone for us. The community or the world of quality infrastructure is really big. We have key players like Sun following regulation to issue out certificates for products. Well, NGCL specifically would be certifying companies' management systems to say that they have gone through and met standards of the ISO 9001 quality management systems. The issue of certifying a management system of an organization actually assures the customers that products and services are reliable, can be relied on, and are of quality.
The project also trains business owners to align with the emerging trends in the global marketplace, with trainings in quality management system, environmental management system, food safety management, among others. Adeshawa Odushoga, TV360, Lagos.
You're still watching News Now on TV360. Up next is News in Business. Just stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
It's about the files your secretary presented to me regarding the company's salary. Yes, the figures don't seem to add up. I suspect there's some form of a
discrepancy.
Precisely, sir.
Keep the figures that way.
That's fraudulent, sir.
That's my money.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't do that, sir.
See how padded your teeth are. Are you telling me you cannot pad up figures?
Sir, padding is against best auditing practices, and it's a form of corruption.
It's true. Accountant.
You were testing. Thank you, sir.
That's it. Bagoli.
Yes, sir.
You are fired.
Yeah. Fine, sir. Rather than watch corruption grow under my watch. Padding is a form of corruption and not in my country, sir.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Many thanks for joining us. You're now on to the business segment of News Now. I am Anetta Felix. The federal government and the African Development Bank, AFDB, have inaugurated a tax team on youth employment and skills development. The team is a think tank created to convene a private sector roundtable as an engagement platform to identify and finance 8 priority projects for youth empowerment. Speaking at the inauguration in Abuja on Tuesday, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, who was represented by the Minister of State, Stephen Ochine, expressed optimism that the program would boost Nigeria's economy.
In 2016, the African Development Bank adopted the Youth for Job in Africa strategy with a goal of creating 25 million jobs and equipping 15 million youth in Africa with employable skills in 10 years' time. So it means that by 2026, we intend to create 25 million jobs. From 2016 to date, the African Development Bank in Nigeria has invested over $400 million US, both in the public and private sector, to promote job creation in Nigeria.
Our youth population grows exponentially. And so the challenge we then have is really to see how we create systems to facilitate entrepreneurship for our youths. That must go hand in hand with also being able to make them employable for the market, the labor market that's largely driven by the private sector. For that reason, therefore, we must begin to look at our education system, really ensuring that the relevant skills that the private sector mentioned to us or continue to hammer on are the things that we also address in the ongoing educational system reform.
The partnership with the African Development Bank on skill development of Nigerian youth is the best thing that can happen to the economic life of this country and to the interests of our youth. It is the best direction. But we still have to redirect our curriculum in Nigerian universities towards skill acquisition training. Government should now invest more in those programs that lead towards self-employment, so that we can. This will also go a long way to reduce the speed of unemployment in Nigeria.
Nigeria's central bank has sold yuan at a range of 49 to 51 naira at its first auction of the Chinese currency, 2 months after it agreed a $2.5 billion swap with Beijing. The auction is part of efforts to encourage the use of an alternative trading currency to the US dollar. Nigeria imports heavily from China, and the central bank met with businesses prior to the auction to familiarize them with using yuan. Oil fell on Tuesday after a survey showed OPEC's output hit a 2018 high in July, reigniting concern about supply swamping demand. Brent crude futures were down 11 cents at $75.44 per barrel, while U.S. crude futures were down 42 cents at $69.71 a barrel. Brent had lost around 6% in July, and it's the largest one-month slide since July 2016. U.S. futures have fallen by slightly less than this, but are still on track for their biggest monthly decline since last October. OPEC has pledged to offset the loss of Iranian supply as upcoming U.S. sanctions have already started to cut output from OPEC's third largest producer. With a 0.19% increase in key market indicators, the Nigeria Stock Exchange closed Tuesday's trading session with an all-share index of 37,017.78 basis points and a market capitalization of 13.409 trillion naira. A total of 244.965 million shares worth 4.494 billion naira were transacted in 5,943 deals. The top gainers for today are Nestle Nigeria PLC, Seplat Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, and Nigerian Breweries. On the flip side, Okomu Oil, Better Glass, PZ, Zenith Bank topped the losers table. The toast of the day with the most traded shares are banks, including Guarantee Trust Bank, United Bank for Africa, Sterling Bank, and First Bank of Nigeria Holdings. And that has been a look at the top stories in business. News Now continues right after this break.
Corruption not in my country.
What do you want to buy?
Potato. Small baskets. I want plantain.
But why your plantain can't hard like this?
Madam, now the outside hard. Inside there, it is very soft.
Madam, wallahi make her no buy them. Make her show you something. What? What's in this one? Madam, this one now the chemical what they put on for the plantain make her ripe up.
So you dey put chemical for plantain where people go chop. Now water no be chemical. Madam,
water. You know say Pela I don't talk and say water and not be enemy. Drink am. Where you collect that water drink am.
I just stop finish. See my belly. After it don't big. I just stop drink water finish.
Wait, you drink am now. I dey sell am plantain I go come put am for chemical because I want to make a ripe go. That one I talk now corruption. Corruption. Not be for this kaswa, come not be for this country. Now me take am.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Welcome back. An aide to a leading candidate in Mali's presidential election has said that a runoff in the presidential poll is inevitable. Former Finance Minister Soumaila Cisse is one of more than 20 challengers to President Ibrahim Keita's bid for a second term. Vote counting after Sunday's poll is continuing despite disruption by jihadists and other militants in some locations. Voting did not take place at about 700 polling stations following threats by armed groups. Observers say these were mainly in the center of the country rather than the previously restive north, where armed factions who signed a peace accord in 2015 helped to ensure security. Monitors in Zimbabwe have warned of violence if results from Monday's elections are contested. Millions of people voted peacefully in the first poll since the army removed Robert Mugabe from power last year. Long queues of voters formed outside polling stations and turnout was recorded at 75%. It is still unclear if presidential election results will be completely announced by the end of Tuesday. On to sports now. At least 90 Kenyan athletes are currently stranded at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. The group of Cameroon, Burkina Faso and Egypt athletes are also stuck at the airport. The athletes are part of their country's delegation to participate at the African Senior Athletics Championship scheduled to hold in Asaba. However, they have been stranded at the Lagos airport since Monday, with the competition scheduled to begin on Wednesday. Tyrone Ebuehi faces a lengthy spell on the sidelines after suffering a serious knee injury during Benfica's International Champions Cup defeat to Juventus on Saturday. The Nigerian international sustained damage to his left knee and is expected to be out of action for a prolonged spell. The right back who joined the Portuguese giant in June replaced Andre Almeida in the 67th minute as his side bowed 4-2 on penalties to the Italians at the Red Bull Arena after score stood at 1-1. An emotional Andy Murray made a triumphant return to hard court in his first match on the surface for nearly 17 months, outlasting Mackenzie McDonald at the ATP Washington Open. The three-time Grand Slam champion and former world number one, who missed 11 months with a right hip injury and surgery last January, defeated the 8th ranked American 3-6, 6-4, 7-5. Murray, who has fallen to 832nd in the rankings, secured victory in the 10th game of the final set after 2 hours and 37 minutes. Well, that's been News Now. You can watch some of our other programs on our website at www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also watch us on Facebook at facebook.com/TV360online, and you can follow us on Twitter. Our handle is twitter.com/TV360Nigeria. We are also live on YouTube at youtube.com/TV360Nigeria, and our handle on Google Plus is TV360Nigeria. Thank you so much for watching. I am Fidelia Aguncha. Bye for now.